You may have played the game Black Myth Wukong. Now let me explain the philosophical meaning behind the legendary name Wukong in Chinese. Oh, by the way, if you're an anime fan, you probably know that Dragon Ball's Son Goku is directly based on the monkey king Wukong from the ancient Chinese novel Journey to the West. Goku is simply the Japanese reading of the same Chinese characters or kanji as Wukong. So the meaning behind the name is identical, even though the stories themselves are completely different. Just like Marvel's Thor has a little to do with the Thor of Norse mythology. For those familiar with classical Chinese literature, Journey to the West is far more than just an adventure story about Buddhist disciples using their powers to battle demons while protecting a monk on his journey from China to India to obtain scriptures and ultimately achieve transcendence. It is also a satire of the government and society of China more than 600 years ago, layered with multiple philosophies and religious ideas. The names of the hero, the Monkey King, Wukong, is a classic Buddhist name that carries a profound view of life and death. So Wu means awakening, Wu, waking up, realizing the truth, and Kong means emptiness. In Buddhism, emptiness doesn't mean nothing exists. It means that all things exist only because of causes and conditions. Nothing has a fixed eternal self. Take a flower as an example. A flower blooms only because it has soil, water, sunlight, and the right season. If you remove any one of these conditions, the flower withers. So does the flower exist? Yes. But does it have an independent, permanent essence? Well, for Buddhism, not exactly. It is empty of a self-nature. In Buddhist philosophy, everything, our bodies, our identities, even the world around us, arises only through relationships and conditions. Nothing stands alone, and nothing lasts forever. The very essence of existence is understood as emptiness, Kong. Yeah, you may have noticed that when Buddhism first emerged, it's nothing about divine beings. It was a rigorous philosophical system. Much like the works of Plato and other thinkers, all those supernatural stories and elements come hundreds of years after. Now, think about the story of Son Wukong, the Monkey King. Born from stone, he gained unimaginable power and declared himself the great sage equal to heaven. Arrogant, unstoppable, convinced he could live forever. At first, Wukong went to heaven seeking an official position, but after being humiliated, he single-handedly fought against 100,000 celestial soldiers before finally being subdued under the Five-Finger Mountain. The Buddha then gave him a chance to redeem himself by assigning him a role of protecting Tang Monk on his journey to retrieve scriptures. When Tang Monk released Monkey King, gave him the name Wukong, it was itself a teaching. Awakening means realizing emptiness, understanding that titles, power, and pride are all illusions. And as for Son, that's just a surname since he's a monkey, and in classical Chinese, a monkey was often called Hu Sun, Sun Son. So Tang Monk casually chose a character with a similar sound, Sun, to serve as his family name. In English, the name literally means monkey realizing the emptiness. In the original story, beneath all the thrilling battles, the real lessons of Wukong's journey isn't about defeating demons. It's about letting go of pride, breaking free from illusions, and seeing reality for what life truly is. That's why the name Wukong, just 2 syllables, carries the essence of the entire Buddhist path. Interestingly, that same name lives on in your favorite anime hero, Goku. Even though Dragon Ball, a massively successful Japanese shonen battle anime that many Chinese millennials, myself included, grew up loving, have little to do with the original Chinese literary classic, a story that Chinese people have been able to recite and pass down for over 600 years, the name still preserves its ancient meaning. And I believe it's worth sharing as a piece of cultural knowledge. Alright, thanks for watching. If you're interested in learning Chinese or exploring Chinese culture, make sure to subscribe to our channel. See you later.